Hey friends, it's Joy here with another lawn fawn video, and today I created these darling little bunny bees playing around in some jars of honey. So we're going to start with our build a critter bunny, and I'm going to do two bunnies. We're going to have one that's sitting, one that's standing. I'm starting with white cardstock, and I'm using some pumice stone to do some ink blending to color the bunnies. Now you can start with a colored cardstock and do ink blending, or you could just do a colored cardstock and not do any ink blending. I love to ink blend die cut, so it doesn't bother me to start from white cardstock. And I wanted these bunnies to be pretty light to begin with, so I'm just adding some ink mainly around the edges, going a little over the center softly, but leaving a light color in the center. So you kind of have these darker and lighter areas. I'm going to do their arms, their legs. One of them is sitting, so you're going to see the bottom of their cute little tootsies, which I think is so fun. And then we have the ears that are going to be pink, the nose, and for the feet, those guys are going to be pink as well. So we're going to do some ink blending with those. I love these little die cuts. They're so cute. I'm also going to be using Build a Critter bug costumes because these guys are going to be little bumblebees. And I just think these little costumes are so cute for these guys. I love the bunnies. The fox is really cute, but I think the bunnies might be my favorite. Now, this is the part of the Build a Critter bug costume. This is part of the body part of the costume. So I am using mustard seed to ink blend that. And the little balls at the end of their antenna are going to be yellow as well. I have die cut the rest of the costume from black cardstock. These little pieces behind the eyes are also black, and then I'm going to add that piece that goes behind the nose that we ink blended in pink. And I did that with spun sugar for the pink. So let me add the nose there. And then we're going to add the ears. We've got the cute little feet. Let's get those ears in place. And I'm going to do that for both of the bunny faces. And then their little pads on the feet are going to be pink as well. How cute. Oh my gosh, these guys are just so darling. Let me add this last one here. Okay, so now we have all of those pieces put together. Let's start getting the costume put together. So again, here's the little balls that are going to go on the end of their antennas that they're going to be wearing. I think this is so cute. And then you have the solid piece for the body part of the costume, and then I die cut from black cardstock, black licorice cardstock or licorice cardstock, and I'm going to glue that onto the yellow piece that we did some ink blending. And then we can start putting the bunnies together. And on these bunnies, they do have little bellies for the Build a Critter bunny. Obviously, I did not need to use that piece because we're putting the costume on. Look at that. Isn't that just so cute? I'm going to glue the feet down because this bunny is going to be sitting. And something that I like to do, well, there's a couple things I like to do with my critters. I do like to put their heads on a tilt. I think it adds personality. And I also like to use a really low profile foam adhesive. I use 1 millimeter underneath the head, so their head is just a little bit away from their body. I think those kind of details really add character to your die cuts to these cute little critters. I'm going to put the arms on this bunny. And when we put the next bunny together, I'm not going to do the arms yet because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to place the bunny in the card design. So I don't want to glue the arms yet. But we can put him together, a little tilt, a little foam adhesive. And I'll put his two arms aside. Then they have their little bee wings that I have die cut from vellum cardstock. And so these wings are going to be up. These wings are going to be down. You can put them in either orientation. They're both darling. And then we have two of the Build a Drink mason jar add-on. And so I'm going to lightly ink blend these with tumbled glass. I'm die cutting them, of course, from white cardstock, but I want to give them a little bit of color. Now, when you die cut out that frame, because these are two different die pieces, when you die cut out the frame, you're going to have a centerpiece and you want to keep that because we're going to use that to be the honey in the jar. I'm also using the Build a Drink mason jar, or excuse me, Build a Drink mason jar jam and honey add-on. Here's that centerpiece, and this is going to be laying on its side. So I'm just drawing a quick reference mark that I can trim out because I want the honey to look like it's spilling out of the jar. So I need to cut that. Here is the solid piece of honey, or for in the jar, that is going to be for the jar that's standing up. So I'm starting with mustard seed, and then I'm going to use wild honey. Then you have these little puddles and drips that are part of that, which I think is so cute. The little drips are my favorite, and I'm going to put them in quite a few places. And then let's add some darker areas with that wild honey. I'm leaving the center lighter, giving this a little bit of a shading look, or a shadow look on the outside. Not a shadow, shading on the outside is what I meant to say. And then I will add some of that to all those little tiny pieces as well. Then we have our honey dipper. I'm using antique linen to do a little bit of ink blending on that as well. This is an A2 size card. And so we're going to color the background with tumbled glass. We have our little label here that I'm going to use some salvaged patina to lightly ink blend that. And then I'm going to stamp the word honey on it. I have two, but I only ended up using one. And that is from the Jam and Honey add-on. Then we have our little tie string and bow that's going to go on the lid of our jar. And also from the Jam and Honey add-on, we have this cute fabric top that I cut from the Giddy Gingham 6x6 paper pad. I picked the multicolored one. I thought that was really pretty and just really cute for the top of this. So we're going to glue this jar together. We're going to place the full honey in here, right in the center there. And then we can get the rest of this jar put together. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I just love these. I just think these are so darling. And then let's add the string and the bow that's going to be tied. We just did a little bit of spun sugar, ink blending on that. How cute is that? And then the next jar is going to be the one that is tilted on its side or tipped over on its side, and the honey is spilling out. So we will adhere that as well. And we're just going to pop that right in the center. That looks perfect. I love this. Here is that background, A2 size on white cardstock. I'm doing just a light ink blending of tumbled glass to give us a sky. I didn't need to do anything spectacular because these dies speak for themselves. They are so cute. Now I did use the Grassy Hillside borders with cilantro cardstock. I die cut 2 of those. We're going to create 2 little layers here. I will use some low profile 1mm foam adhesive behind our smaller layer of grass here. And then we can start laying out all of our pieces here. We've got the 2 little bunny bees, our 2 jars of honey, and then we have the little spills and drips, the honey dipper, and then we will come back for the sentiment at the end. Let's add the honey label to our jar that's going to stand up. And we're going to start placing these. So I did want some height in the background. So we're going to place that jar up pretty high. The jar that's tipping over, we're going to lay down in the front. I need to add a little bit of foam adhesive on the area that's going to be overlapping on the back piece of grass, since the front piece of grass has some foam adhesive. This cute little bunny is going to be really enjoying all of the honey. It's going to have puddles of honey underneath. It's going to be the bunny has been eating the honey, so we're going to add a drip to his little arm. Let's place this one down. We will have the little petals under each one of the feet. So I'm going to slide those guys under. Oh my gosh, how cute. It's just coming to life with all of this fun honey. We have another puddle and another drip that we're going to add. This other puddle is going to be pouring out of the jar. Let's get the arms on this little bunny here. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind it. Now this bunny I decided is going to hold the honey dipper, and there's going to be a honey drip on top of that one as well. So let me just pop these guys in place. I think I have to add a little more foam adhesive because it was just a little, it wasn't quite tall enough laying on top of all of the paper layers. And the part that's hanging off of the bunny, you can trim that excess off. That way it fits in an A2 size envelope. If you don't want to, just stick it in a larger envelope. But let's put that bunny in place. Let's add this honey dipper here and the drip of honey. And we're going to add some detail to the honey itself. There's the piece that's spilling out. And then I thought it'd be cute to have honey on the head of that little bunny sitting down. How cute is that? Okay, let's use our sentiment, or stamp our sentiment, excuse me. We're using the Jam and Honey sentiments, and this one just says happy birthday, but there's a lot of cute little punny sentiments in there. I just know I need more birthday cards in my stash, so I'm going to make it a birthday card. Let's finish off this card with adding glossy accents to all of the dripping pieces and the puddles. I'm not going to do it in the jar, but just on those other little pieces to give them a nice shine and highlight those little areas. And I love how this card turned out. It is just so cute. These little bunny bees are darling. Okay, now we can see everything up close, all those little bunnies, their cute costumes, the honey jars, everything is just so cute. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I hope you feel inspired by it, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.